Hello, you guys, and welcome to the Phoenix Rising podcast. I am Ashley Drummond, your host. Come on in, have a seat. We're in my living room today, so I hope you feel nice and snuggled up. If you are watching this on YouTube, some of you guys have sent me screenshots on Instagram showing me that you're watching this video while you're like doing work or while you're like doing laundry, doing the dishes, eating breakfast, whatever. And I love that because I love feeling like I'm like right there with you. So, and if you're in your car, maybe you're taking a walk. Maybe we're just like taking a walk together. So, welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so excited to share with you some updates, but also I very rarely give vitamin and supplement recommendations without working with people one on one. So, consider yourself lucky that I'm going to do this today, but it's because multiple times I have found myself telling people, man, if there was like a handful of supplements that I think everybody should take, this would be it. So we're going to get into that today. Before we get into that, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. That way, when these come out fresh and new, you are the first to know about it. And you don't have to ask me, hey, when's the next episode coming out? Hey, what's the latest episode title? You'll just know, you'll get the update. So hit the subscribe button and you'll automatically have the update. Also, thank you to a friend slash former client of mine who mentioned this to me. She sent me a message the other day and she was like, hey, why don't you offer a like DIY mindset and like fitness coaching program? Because you're so into mindset and like a lot of people want to be able to work with you, but like maybe for people who can't afford to work with you one-on-one, but they can still get all the tools. And I text her back. I was like, oh, you mean like this program that I already have? And she was like, yeah, why don't you ever talk about that on the podcast? Honestly, I just forget. It's nothing like intentional. So I will tell you about it now because thank you to her. She mentioned that to me. So I do have an 8-week program that is DIY that you can literally get the tools, the information, the worksheets, videos like this with me as your coach. That is 8 weeks of workouts and 8 weeks of mindset coaching. So to give you a quick rundown, and then we'll get into today's episode topic, it is structured. So it's workouts that I literally do. Every workout you can do with a pair of dumbbells. You have a strength component that you're going to focus on. And then it is followed by a metabolic conditioning component, which takes like 10, 15 minutes. There are 5 workouts every single week. Like I said, you can do all of them with a pair of dumbbells. You can do it at the gym. You can do it at the park, however you want. With it, I give you a video for every single workout where I am basically being your coach, showing you exactly what to do, how to do it, how to modify it if you need to modify any of the exercises. But I can tell you right now, everybody who has done this workout program has seen results within the first couple weeks because one, it is intense. It's strength training, but it's also metabolic conditioning. So that means you are building strength while boosting fat loss. So you have 40 workouts with 40 workout videos along with an entire book. Like it's literally a book that you can print off. It's an ebook of this whole workout program. So it's 8 weeks of that. But then part of the program is every single week you have a 15 to 20-ish minute mindset coaching video from me. So we are knocking out, making sure that you are getting in your workouts, but we're also working on a lot of the things that we talk about on this podcast of really reprogramming and transforming your mind. So that 8-week program, if you are interested in that, it is DIY. So as soon as you sign up for it, you'll get an email with instructions that you can access it and you can start your workout today and you can start your mindset coaching today. The link is in the show notes, but it's just ashleydrummonds.com/transform because that's what it's all about. It's transforming your body, but also transforming your life. So again, if you are interested in that 8-week program, it is ashleydrummonds.com/transform. The link is also in the show notes. Okay, let's get into today's topic. Okay, I get asked all the time, like, what kind of vitamins should I take? What kind of supplements should I take? And 99% of the time, I never give any recommendations because I'm like, I haven't seen your blood work. I have no idea what your glucose looks like, your triglycerides, your cholesterol, your DHEA. Like, what does your detox pathways look like? Like, there's so many things that go into it on a detailed basis. But I have said multiple times, if I knew nothing about you whatsoever, and I had to make a recommendation of what I think almost everybody should take, just because working with so many people for so long, along with like knowing my own body and my own health, but just in general in our society, a lot of people their problems stem from deficiencies in these vitamins, nutrients, and minerals. There are 5 with maybe a bonus, but there are 5 vitamins slash minerals slash supplements that I think would be beneficial for everybody to take daily for optimal health and wellness. I'm not saying these things are going to make you drop weight. I'm not saying they're going to make you get shredded, but when you are sufficient in the amounts of these different things, you're going to have less stress, more energy, better mental focus, better blood sugar control, better digestion, better brain, heart, and eye health, and just over boosted immunity, like just overall better health and wellness. So that's what we're going to get into right now. Number 1, everything. Everything starts in your gut. And the first thing I ask people is, are you taking a probiotic? Most people say no. Here's the problem with that. Probiotics, and if you see me looking down, it's because look at all these notes I have for you today. Aren't you so proud I took notes today? Probiotics are the hub. Like, think of it this way. When you're consuming food, so you're like, all right, I'm eating clean. All this food goes into your body. Where does it go? It goes to your gut. If your gut does not have a healthy foundation, it is not going to be able to break down the food for digestion so that you can absorb it. But also, if you eat things that have bacteria and harmful toxins in it, you don't have the right environment and the right microbiome to be able to fight those things off. So I always recommend, like, number 1, gut health is everything. People who have better gut health tend to have stronger immune systems because when you ingest something, let's say it's a virus or whatever, when you have the right gut health, the good bacteria, which is what probiotic is. So quick 101, antibiotics, when you take antibiotics, it is antibacteria. Probiotics are pro good bacteria. So antibiotics, when you take them, it destroys all of the bacteria in your gut, the good and bad. That's how you get better so much faster. The problem with it is, and a lot of people experience this, is because it doesn't destroy just the bad, it also gets rid of the good. You usually take a probiotic or an antibiotic, and then maybe you get rid of the cold, but then you get something else. The cold's gone, but maybe you get an ear infection, you get a yeast infection, you get, I don't know, something else, because even though you killed it off, you also killed off all the good bacteria that your body actually needs. So probiotics basically boost your immune system. It helps your body absorb the nutrients from all of the food that you're eating. It's also super important for neurotransmitter production. So your neurotransmitters, you guys have heard me talk about this, are serotonin, dopamine, GABA, the things in our brains that like help us think. It boosts our moods. There's so probiotics have different strains, which is why it'll say like 15 billion and 16 different strains. Each strain does something different. So there's specific ones that they have found when people don't have enough of that specific strain, it can affect the mood. And even there's specific strain for like just digestion. There's strains for like for women, for vaginal health. There's strains for like controlling candida and yeast and all those things. So it is super important with everything: neurotransmitters, immune system, digestion. It helps regulate you with your bowel movements. Like, probiotic is your body's way of keeping your body in good health while destroying harmful bacteria that could come in from outside yourself. So I always recommend a good probiotic. When women have issues with, well, I mean, let's just talk about it. Like when women have recurring yeast infections and UTIs and vaginal health issues, it's usually an imbalance of the pH, but also an imbalance of the bacteria. So you can start introducing, there's herbs for all that stuff too, but you can start introducing a probiotic to help balance that out. With not just with guys, when people are constantly bloated, struggling with like feeling bloated all the time, there's usually an imbalance in gut bacteria. Probiotics can help do that. Now, okay, so we're getting into this. Like, there's a whole gut protocol you can do where essentially you are cleaning out the entire gut, the large, the small intestines, and then you're replacing the bacteria. We're not talking about that right now because, again, remember, that's like a detailed analysis. We are talking about the basics of if I didn't even know you and you walked into my house and you were like, I'm going to start today taking better care of my health, aside from eating better and exercising, what can I do? Like, what can I take that would like start helping? You need a probiotic, especially like bowel movements and all those things, like probiotic. So probiotic is number one because, like I said, everything starts in your gut, from nutrient absorption, from immune health, from being able to fight off bad bacteria and promote good bacteria, neurotransmitter production. That is the gateway to where everything gets dispersed. You eat your food, goes into your stomach, and then that little hub is where things start going to the different organs and cells and things in your body. So if you don't take care of that first, it doesn't, excuse me, it doesn't matter what else you take because your body's not going to be able to absorb it. Probiotic, number one. Number two, I literally feel like this, if I had to choose one thing that I think could solve a lot of people's problems, this would be it. And that is number two, magnesium. Magnesium, magnesium, magnesium. You can't think straight. You have low brain energy. Take some magnesium. You're overstressed. Take some magnesium. You're not sleeping well. Take some magnesium. You're getting muscle cramps and spasms. Take some magnesium. You have a headache and aches and pains. Take some magnesium. Magnesium is responsible for over 300 biochemical reactions in the body. 300. 80% of the US population is deficient in magnesium. Now, magnesium is something that we should, all this stuff we should be getting like from our food, but our soils are not as nutrient dense as they used to be. On top of that, like food's more processed. It's more processed, which means a lot of the minerals get stripped away. There's a million other things like stress depletes magnesium. So magnesium is the mineral that it's your calm mineral. So the way it works is when you get stressed, your body will flood your cells with the magnesium stores to calm you down. Your brain loves magnesium. Your adrenal glands, which sit on top of the kidneys that are responsible for producing DHEA, estrogen, testosterone, all these things, love magnesium. Your muscles, but we get depleted when we're overstressed, when we're not eating enough nutrient dense food. Tons of sweat will do that to you. You can sweat that out too. So magnesium is like, it also helps control blood sugar. It is a natural blood sugar controller. It's amazing. Like it's just like, that's, I don't know how else to explain it. Like when you take it, it's kind of like your central nervous system, everything, and you can kind of just relax. I actually had a client recently who he was having constant issues with TMJ, which is lockjaw. And he was telling me about this. And I told him, I said, I haven't even, and he's done his blood work with me and all that. And I was like, I haven't even seen your blood work yet, but I would bet money you have a magnesium deficiency or your magnesium is low. Sure enough, cleaned up. And I mean, he's taken a couple other things too, but like got him on a regular magnesium thing. And now he doesn't have issues with clenching his jaw and locked jaw. Isn't that amazing? So magnesium 100%, like your body gets depleted in it all the time. Now, a couple things. The most highly absorbable forms of magnesium are magnesium citrate and magnesium glycinate. Magnesium glycinate does have a very relaxing effect. So the best time to take that is to take glycinate at night. I do citrate in the morning, glycinate at night because citrate won't make you sleepy, but the way that citrate works is it pulls all of the water out of the body. Well, not out of the body. It pulls some of the water from the body into the intestines and promotes like regularity. So if you take too much of it will have a laxative effect. But if you are having issues with water retention and like bloating and all that, assuming you've already taken your probiotic, you can take a little bit of magnesium citrate and it will help flush out that water. And actually, a lot of times when people are retaining water, it tends to come from a magnesium deficiency. So you can try that out too. But I mean, magnesium is like a miracle for women with PMS, headaches, cramps, guys. Well, actually, not just guys, women too. Like if you have like tension, lockjaw, muscle spasms, muscle crampings is usually magnesium. Um, mental clarity, mental clarity too. So there is one form of magnesium called magnesium. It's L-threonate. So threonate is a form of magnesium that can actually cross the blood-brain barrier. So sometimes at night, like when people they can't stop thinking, their brain feels hyperactive. L-threonate is a form of magnesium that can help calm the brain down. So we have a blood-brain barrier. It's to protect our brain, and a lot of the supplements, vitamins, things that you take can't cross that because your brain is protecting you from that. However, there are certain forms that you can use that will actually help with inflammation in the brain. Magnesium L-threonate. So magnesium would be my number 2 recommendation. Number 3, activated B complex. So we got to break this down. You have B complex, and then you have the active form of B complex. So the active form of B complex, and the reason why I recommend that is because it is the form of your B vitamins that your body doesn't have to break down as much to get access to. So how do you know if it's active or not active? It'll usually say either on the front of the bottle, like active Bs, or on the back of it, you can look at a couple different things like vitamin B6. And I talked about this in the episode with the mental, is your nutrition supporting your mental health? Vitamin B6 is super important for serotonin, dopamine, and GABA. So dopamine is that like happy, well, serotonin, dopamine, like they kind of go together. But it's that like happy, like feeling good, that feeling. GABA is like your calming sense. In order to produce those things, your body needs enough of vitamin B6. So that's super important. You also have, I think it's crap. I'm kind of forgetting. I can't remember if it's B9 or I think it's B5. B5 is your stress B. It is the one that helps control the adrenals. It takes care of the stress response in the body. When you're under higher amounts of stress, your body gets depleted faster of that. B12 is responsible for producing melatonin, but it's also responsible for energy. And if I remember this correctly, hold on a second. Oh, yes. Okay. B vitamins and B12 specifically are also important for the iron absorption and red blood cell production. So a lot of times when people have issues with iron or are like borderline anemic, there's something going on at the exact same time with their B vitamins. So you have to handle both of those, which is why blood work is always important, because if somebody's got like a couple different things coming up, iron's low, ferritin's low, all this stuff, there's probably a little bit of a deficiency in B vitamins as well. People that are low in iron typically also are low in B12 and in vitamin C. Because they're all cofactors to producing the red blood cells. So activated B complex, you literally can go to your vitamin and supplement store, ask them to recommend an activated B complex. The reason it's important too is because B complexes are B vitamins are water soluble. What that means is that we pee them out and we sweat them out. That's why when you take like an active B complex, your pee is usually bright neon yellow. It's not necessarily because you're dehydrated, it's your B vitamins coming out. Not everything that you take is water soluble. You have other vitamins, and actually, one of them we're going to talk about other vitamins that are fat soluble, which means your body can absorb them and store them a little bit better because it absorbs them in your fat molecules. So, B vitamins, super important. Activated B complex. You can look up, there's different kinds. Some of the companies that I like, that I recommend, there's companies like Pure Encapsulation, which I recommend to a lot of my clients because they do a ton of third-party testing. There's more integrity there. There's Thorn. You just want to make sure that the ingredients are clean. They're coming from a good manufacturer. But so that's number 3. So we had probiotics, number 1. Magnesium, number 2. People, if you got issues with anxiety and depression, the naturopath way, and I'm not a naturopath, so maybe I should say more like the functional or natural integrative way that can help alleviate a lot of anxiety and depression is magnesium and vitamin B6, because the active form of B6. So the active form of B6 is P5P. It's B6 phosphate. Basically, you can see that on the bottle. Both of those right there are responsible for your serotonin, dopamine, and GABA production, which is what a lot of people are needing in their brains when they're struggling with anxiety and depression. So usually if people are having those issues, there's probably a deficiency too in magnesium and that specific B vitamin. So those are our active B complexes. All right, so now we're going to get into number 4. If you were watching this, I had a second there where it was like, wait, am I putting up 3 or 4? Number 4 recommendation I have is omegas. Your omegas are your fatty acids. Now, you got to get past the mental block of this because a lot of people think like omegas, fatty acids, fatty equals fat. It's not the way this works. So your omegas are super important. You need fat, first of all. You need fat for brain health, eye health, heart health. You need triglycerides. You need, like, omegas are important for inflammation. They're important for all kinds of things. So you have a lot of different kinds. We have ALA, DHA, EPA. The main thing is I'm talking specifically for this recommendation, omega-3s. Sometimes when people either are having chronic issues with joint problems, again, going back to like anxiety and things with the brain, because a lot of times anxiety can come from just inflammation in the brain. Omegas help reduce inflammation. So not getting enough fatty acids can cause problems with that. But also omega-3 is one of the nutrients that, like we talked about before, that can cross the blood-brain barrier. So stress, anxiety, all those things, when you have all this stuff going on in your brain, there's a lot of inflammation happening in your brain. Omega-3 can actually cross that barrier to help relieve the inflammation. Now, omega-3s are also super important for hormone production, brain function, heart health, eye health, all this stuff. And actually, it helps with muscle synthesis. So sometimes if I have a client or somebody who is like recovering from an injury, or maybe they're taking some time, like an injury or a surgery or something, and they're not able to be as active, you can up omegas a little bit, 1, to help with the inflammation, but 2, to help with muscle synthesis because they're not as active. So it actually helps the body recover and turn over the way it should be as if you were active. So omega-3s are super important for that. You have omega-6, you have omega-9. You have to be careful because if you're taking too much omega-6, it can actually cause a pro-inflammatory response. So omega-3s are more anti-inflammatory. It's a natural anti-inflammatory. Think like ibuprofen, aspirin, all this stuff. Your omegas and magnesium are a natural anti-inflammatory. Omega-6s, if you are getting too much of those in comparison to omega-3s, it can actually cause more inflammation, pro-inflammation. So omega-3. Omega-3 helps too with the production of melatonin. All right, so we've done probiotics, we've done magnesium, we've done an activated B complex, we've done omegas, and then we have number 5. So, number 5, vitamin D. I live in the Sunshine State, so we get a ton of vitamin D outside. However, the amount of time I would have to spend outside to get what I actually need is not really going to happen most days. I mean, some days I can do that, and like I'll go take long walks to get all my vitamin D in, but not every day I'm going to be able to do that. So why is vitamin D important? So vitamin D has actually now been changed a little bit to not just a vitamin, but it's considered a steroid hormone and is essential to the immune system. Not just the immune system, but it's super important in helping your body absorb calcium. That's why, like, a lot of times vitamin D, they're like, it helps build strong bones and teeth and whatever else. It's because vitamin D is really important for your body to be able to absorb calcium. So the other part of this too, vitamin D helps a lot with improving blood sugar and insulin resistance. Now, the thing with vitamin D is the super interesting fact with a lot of people who ended up getting COVID, they found had vitamin D deficiencies. And those who had normal levels of vitamin D, their immune system was strong enough to be able to fight off the infection. So vitamin D is essential to proper immune function, and it makes something called antimicrobials, which is basically a natural antibiotic in your body. Isn't that cool? So vitamin D too, like just like when you have winter months, like vitamin D and the sun goes away, people struggle with like seasonal depression, the winter blues, and all those things. It's usually because their body is not getting enough of that vitamin with sunlight. Vitamin D helps with that. Vitamin D is important for mood function, immune function, absorbing calcium. Like I said, it's a natural antibiotic. And this is what I was talking about. Vitamin D is fat soluble. So your body can store it for a few months so that you're not depleted as quickly. That's number 5. Now, I know there's going to be questions of like, well, how much should I take? Which brand is good? Like, where do I go? Do I take this every single day? Do I take it with a meal on an empty stomach? That dosage and all those things, I can't really tell you without seeing blood work because every single person is different. Honestly, like when it comes to things like B vitamins, you're going to pee out your B vitamins every single day. You're going to pee it out, you're going to sweat it out, you're going to stress it out. It's the same thing with magnesium. It is very hard to be overfilled with magnesium because we're constantly using it up all the time. I will say though, when you do start taking magnesium, you have to kind of build up to it. If you've never taken it before and you just take like a full dose, you might have an upset stomach. So usually you want to start with like the smallest amount, give it a couple weeks, and then you can build up to it a little bit. It's funny because somebody asked me the other day, because I have a gym bag that I carry around, and this woman stopped me and she's like, "What is in your gym bag? Like, I'm so curious. What do you keep in there?" And I was gonna like start this episode off with like, well, "What's in my gym bag?" and just like go through and pull stuff out with you because I'm like everything. Like, if anything were to happen right now, like I would be okay with my gym bag. But one of the things I do have in my gym bag is a little Ziploc bag that has magnesium gummy chews. The reason I have that is because sometimes if I haven't, I don't know, who knows, maybe I'm sweating more, maybe it's your menstrual cycle too, ladies, your magnesium levels change throughout your menstrual cycle. But who knows? Maybe it's just a day and I have more inflammation, so my body's using up more magnesium. But sometimes if I'm doing a workout or like say I'm doing something that requires a lot of grip, because for me, when I'm a little low in magnesium, I feel it in my forearms. My forearms feel really like tight and swollen, or I feel it in my calves. Like that's where it'll cramp up. So if I'm trying to do like pull-ups or I'm trying to do deadlifts or something like that, and I'm having like my grip, like my forearms are just feeling really tight, I'll reach in my gym bag, I'll take a magnesium chew, one or two of them, and usually it helps flush it out. And then I'm good to go. And it also helps with energy levels. So I forgot to mention that with magnesium, sometimes people who struggle with energy levels, it can be a deficiency in magnesium. And you can usually tell. Certain ones of these take a little bit of time, like your probiotics. I'd give it at least 3 to 4 weeks. It takes around 20 to 30 days for your gut to rebuild its lining and microbiome. So you're not going to see anything right away. I mean, maybe you will. Give that time. Things like magnesium, you usually feel it pretty quickly. Like if I take magnesium now, I'm probably going to feel it within 20, 30 minutes, something along those lines. So you can try it out, see how you feel, and then just adjust accordingly. But for everything else, especially vitamin D is very personal for each person, which that was like a double statement, but everybody needs different amounts of vitamin D. So you would need to first check your levels, do your blood work. And then based on what comes back for that, and it's the same like your omegas, you would have to check your triglycerides, your cholesterols, like all the things go, your DHEA, all the things going on in your body to see how much you really need with that as well. And a lot of this plays too in what your nutrition is like. So you can take all this stuff, but if you're still not getting adequate amounts of protein, carbs, and fats, and greens and fruits and all those things, then it's not really going to matter because your body's still going to be craving this. And like supplements are exactly what they are. They should be supplemental, not the primary source of you getting all these vitamins and minerals. So there's that part of that that goes into this too. Now, I have one other. I know I said 5. I have one more. This is not necessarily what I would say, like, hey, you got to do this every single day, but we'll just consider this like a bonus one. And it is something I do in the mornings. Apple cider vinegar. So, what is that all about? What's the deal with apple cider vinegar? So, I love apple cider vinegar, not like I love it because I think it tastes great. I love it for what it does. There's so many things out there saying it's going to like make you drop weight real fast and all that. That I'm not really on board with. But apple cider vinegar does have a lot of wonderful benefits to it. So I normally do like a tablespoon in the morning before I eat breakfast. Now, here's the reason, and this is what I get out of it. Everybody gets something different out of apple cider vinegar, but when I take it in the morning before breakfast, what it does is it increases the amount of stomach acid that I have so that my body, one, it slows down gastric emptying because a lot of times what'll happen is like I eat breakfast and then like 30 minutes later I'm starving. It slows down the gastric emptying. It increases the stomach acid so that the more acid you have, the more your body can break down and absorb proteins and all of your nutrients. So it helps with the digestion of the nutrients that you're eating so that your body is actually absorbing them. But it also helps with blood sugar control throughout the day by increasing your insulin sensitivity. Now, there's some other things that like I have this note here that like it can help lower cholesterol and oxidative stress. There's still a lot of studies that are being done around that. They, there is a lot of people saying that like it can help with skin. Like you just have like wonderful glowing skin when you do apple cider vinegar. And I think part of that is because apple cider vinegar acts as an antibacterial and an antifungal. Literally. So like you take this one little tablespoon and it's like a natural antibiotic, not an antibiotic, but like antibacterial in a positive way and antifungal. So if you got stuff going on in your gut, take this. It kind of helps just keep the acid in balance, but it also naturally keeps all that clean. So I think the way that it helps people with their skin is if you have a lot of bacteria going on in your gut, you're naturally going to have more problems with your skin. So apple cider vinegar, that's why I say it's like, it's a bonus because would I necessarily say like absolutely everybody needs this? No. Do I think that like it's a good daily health habit just for digestion, stomach acid, and like to clarify, a lot of people like hear stomach acid and they think like acid, like that sounds like acid reflux. Stomach acid is necessary for your body to break down the food that you're eating and absorb the nutrients. And actually, athletes tend to have lower stomach acid, which can sometimes cause problems with them absorbing the nutrients. So this helps increasing the gastric acid in a positive way so that it can break down the proteins. Your body can absorb these things, and it slows down the emptying of everything so that there's more time with the body absorbing the food. So that would be my bonus one. Apple cider vinegar. There is a brand. I don't know if this is like a nationwide brand or not, but I will recommend this because if you do straight apple cider vinegar, which I have done, it's a pretty brutal shot to start your morning off with. Like, it's a big wake up call. But there's a brand, if you have places like Whole Foods and Sprouts and natural grocery stores, Bragg's, Braggs, who they also make like the amino marinades, coconut aminos, all those things. Like, they make a lot of really great like health products. They have an apple cider vinegar that is already pre-mixed with cayenne pepper and honey. Do a tablespoon of that. It's actually really good. It's like sweet and a little spicy. And it's just like a tablespoon. Take a little tablespoon shot of that in the morning. And it's like, whew, all right, now I'm awake, but also like your stomach will thank you. So those would be my top recommendations. I get asked this all the time of like, hey, where should I start? What should I take? And every time I'm like, no, I'm not doing that until I see your blood work. And anybody who, listen, let me just give you this advice. Anybody who starts telling you what you should eat or what you should take and how much to take without seeing your blood work, run in the opposite direction, because they can mess you up more than they can help you. Because if somebody's like telling you to do all this stuff and your body actually needs something totally different, you're going to end up with more problems than you started with. So you always want to work with somebody, whether it's me or whoever else, that before they give you any nutrition or vitamin or supplementation advice, they see your blood work first to make sure that's the right thing for you. So that's normally why when people ask this, I'm like, I'm not doing that, because I don't know what you need and I'm not going to deal with like whatever issues come from this. But these 5/6, the bonus, are things that most people tend to be deficient in. And really, like, literally, I wouldn't just say this, make a huge difference. Magnesium alone can make a huge difference for you if you're not already changing or taking it. It can make a difference in your sleep, your ability to think clearly, your energy in your workouts, your recovery, your hormones, your stress, your adrenal, anxiety, depression. It just goes on and on and on. So yeah, those are my top 5 recommendations of daily vitamins / supplements you can take for optimal health and wellness. So there you go. All right, this one's a little bit shorter. We didn't get into mindset stuff, but don't worry, we will get into mindset stuff because I have a topic that a woman who takes one of my weightlifting classes, we were talking about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this one of my podcast episodes because this is something I think a lot of people struggle with. So make sure that you subscribe so when it comes out, you'll know it's come out. But like I mentioned at the beginning of this, if you want to do a serious, like 8-week intensive fitness and mindset program, you get all the videos, every single workout, you have the video. You get weekly mindset coaching from me. You also get worksheets with mindset coaching, but you can do it with just a pair of dumbbells and it takes less than 30 minutes. But I promise you, you will see results both mentally and physically within weeks. If you want to do that, the link is in the show notes. It's ashleyDrummons.com/transform. Until next time, I will see you in all the other episodes. Thank you so much for joining me, and see you next week. Bye.